Oh man. Holy frick. That is something. I don't know what it is. That is not a person though, because it's in threes.
Ah! Oh! Yes!
Imagine re-watching your own videos only to realize a stranger was standing right behind you the whole time. From a man lurking between cars in broad to creepy gifts left outside a tent at 3 a.m., these people were targets long before they knew it. If you felt that chill down your spine, would you run or would you wait until it's too late? Jimena Flaca is a live streamer and digital creator known for her activity on Kick, where she shares real-life content that captures parts of her everyday routine social moments and interactive streams rather than focusing only on gaming. She has built an audience of tens of thousands on the platform, and her broadcasts often include real-world outings and direct engagement with viewers. On one specific day after finishing her boxing session, Jimena stopped by a Jamba Juice with a friend for a quick break. But when they returned to the car, something immediately felt off. The windshield wipers had been lifted, and the mirrors showed clear signs of being tampered with. That was when the situation began to feel unsettling, as they quickly realized this did not seem random.
It's cold outside. I'm freaking freezing up in here. Oh my god. Guys, what would be the cold version?
It's colder than Yeti Snatch.
What the f is that? That makes no sense. Why is your things up?
It's colder than Yeti Snatch.
What the f is that?
No, wait, I'm gonna drive off.
That's a way for you.
That's a way for sex trafficking.
That's a way for you to
get out the car and fix that and someone stabbed me under the fucking car.
Oh, hell no.
Wait, no. That's weird. That's weird. Nah, that's weird as fuck. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna drive with those up.
Things.
Oh my god, they put up my mirrors too. Wait. That's scary. It's because I can't drive. Without. I don't know if someone's gonna follow my car.
I'm watching. Look, and
Wait, who's this? No, why would they only do that so you get out the car and fix it?
Between the parked cars, a shadow can be seen. At the exact moment she pulls away, a man appears standing up.
Oh, hell
no. Wait, no. That's weird.
Viewers watching the live stream at the time sensed that something was wrong, but neither they nor the two girls noticed him in that moment. It was only after the clip spread online that people started pointing out the figure hidden between the vehicles. Some believed this could be part of a tactic used to create a distraction. By interfering with a car, someone might try to draw a person outside and catch them off guard. You might wonder why nothing happened while both girls were entering the vehicle, and the reason could simply be that one person alone is much easier to target than two together. If only one of them had stepped out to deal with it, things might have gone very differently. Moments like this can shift without warning, where something small turns into something serious before you even realize it. They chose to leave right away, but it makes you think if they had stepped out for even a moment, would everything have stayed the same? The video comes from American Renegade, a US-based van life and nomadic living channel that shares real, unscripted moments on the road, from everyday routines to unexpected encounters in remote places. It is February 23, 2016 in the southwestern United States. At a remote parking area, Alton is parked in a quiet, isolated spot he often uses, settling in for a peaceful evening. Inside the van, everything feels normal. He sits in his usual place eating soup and responding to comments. The surroundings are calm and still, with no sign that anything unusual is about to unfold.
That place where I normally park, and they seemed to get out. I think it was 2 people, but they got out of the car. I couldn't see all that. Like I said, they were parked, right on the other side of the van here. And then all of a sudden, I feel the van move, just a tiny little rock. So I figured, okay, well, he got out and maybe stumbled into the van or, something. So then it happened again. The van kind of rocked a little bit. And then all of a sudden, it rocked.
Making this seem like just another routine night rather than a camping encounter. Then, suddenly, the van shifts slightly, just a small movement. Then, it happens again, the van rocks a bit more. Looking toward the back of the van, Alton notices something unsettling.
Grab this bad boy here, because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know if somebody was trying to, or whatever. So yeah, I thought I was gonna have to start cracking some heads,
A shadowy figure appears near the rear storage box where he keeps an expensive generator. The thought that someone might be interfering with the van quickly makes the situation feel serious. For a moment, he considers leaving, but instead stays put, keeping the headlights aimed at the area, while carefully watching, ready to move if needed.
And then I happened to look out the window and the car was gone. I was like, oh, well, okay. So I pulled back in the way I was and I backed into the same spot.
Then, just as quickly as it started, the car is gone and the tension fades as the people nearby leave. When he checks the back of the van, Alton discovers what caused the movement. Someone had simply sat on the rear storage box, leaving a slight dent that made the van rock. What first seemed like a possible threat turns out to be harmless, but not without impact. The sudden motion, the shadowy figure, and the uncertainty create a short but intense camping encounter that lingers even after the moment passes. Sometimes, a camping encounter only feels dangerous because of what you imagine. But when something moves in the dark, would you really stay calm or assume the worst right away? He wakes in the middle of the night steps outside his tent and finds something that wasn't there before what happens next is far worse than he expected. On February 19th, 2026, the YouTube channel Exploring with Brad released a video filmed in the forests near Monocliffs and Orangeville, Ontario, Canada. In the video, he ventures alone into a quiet forest to spend the night. The location has a strange reputation, and people in the area have talked for years about a mysterious legend known as the Blue Man. Even when he was a child, he had heard stories about it.
Our own teepee, our own fort. This forest has always given me nightmares as a little kid because of the story about the Blue Man.
Setting the tone for a potentially unsettling camping encounter. Before nightfall, he walks deeper into the forest, searching for a place to camp. As he moves through the area, he notices large animal tracks in the snow, but cannot determine what created them.
It's hard to say at this point. So that's just a person or a snowmobile or sled or something like that. I'm the only car parked here today. Usually I always go to this place with Angelo just because of how scary it is. That's for darn sure. Alright, I'll actually take a look. Yeah, so park boundary, you can't go down that way. Let's go down here. I actually wanted to build my fort down here today and see what we got. Betty was freaking out. She's like, you better be careful. She knows this place too. She's just like, doesn't want me here. There's that, but that's not. Need something that's kind of big. That's an overhang there.
A little later, he finds another unusual set of tracks arranged in groups of 3, clearly different from normal human footprints.
We'll see. We'll do a little bit of exploring. Let's go down here for a little ways. They've cleared us a path, it looks like it. Okay, that's a person, I think. It's going down that way. I don't know what people are doing down here. Tracks. Yeah, those are fresh. I don't know if somebody else is here or what's going on, guys. I know people live out here. Like, there are houses that are nearby this thing. Over here, it looks like there could be a lot of firewood and stuff. I don't know. Literally, I could use a lot of different spots I'm seeing right now, but I'm kind of just wanting to investigate for now. The last time we were here, me and Angela, we set up a tent down here. All these fresh tracks must have been made earlier today. There's people playing and farting around. Sign here. Okay, that's a break. I don't know.
All of the tracks appear fresh, suggesting they were made earlier that same day. Suddenly, he hears a strange noise in the trees, as if something is moving quickly nearby.
What the hell was that? Sounds like some sort of animal. Like a bird or something of some kind. It sounds creepy though. Came out this way. I messaged a few friends of where I was going today, and they were saying, just because of how dangerous this place can be, especially at night, so. And it's quiet. I don't know what this is. Look, it's like threes. That is something. I don't know what it is. That is not a person though, because it's in threes. I brought my coyote mace just in case, but it's highly unlikely we're gonna bump into one of them, so. The worst part about animals like that though is that they're freaking nocturnal. So they can see you, like they don't need the light. So if they take your light away, being alone here though has to be terrifying. Especially with the story that I'm about to tell you guys. Like, it is eerie.
The forest falls quiet again, but more tracks appear in the snow, still unidentifiable. Being alone in this place feels unsettling, especially with the story he is about to share.
You know what I mean? That's what scares me. Out in places like this is like, I really don't know what's out here.
Even while setting up his shelter, he continues to hear movement around him, and he admits that being alone in this forest feels uncomfortable, especially with the old legends connected to the area. Later that night, he sits near the fire and recounts the local story of the Blue Man, a strange figure said to have appeared in these woods long ago. According to the legend, people who followed strange lights or whispers in the forest sometimes disappeared.
So this is about the phenomena that happens in these woods, okay guys? I forgot to even mention it to you guys. So this is called the Blue Man. So it started as a local legend, nothing more, then a whispered tale in the small town of Mono. They called him the Blue Man. The story goes that in the late 1800s, a traveling showman came to the town. He was an odd-looking man, his skin a pale, unnatural blue, and his eyes, well, they were darker than night itself. He carried with him a strange shimmering lantern, which he claimed was a gift from a distant land. He promised to show wonders the townsfolk had never seen, strange illusions that would make their hearts race and their minds reel.
After finishing the story, the forest becomes very quiet again. He suddenly pauses, thinking he hears someone walking somewhere in the darkness nearby. Not long after he falls asleep, but something disturbing happens around 3:42 in the morning. He suddenly wakes up after hearing a sound outside his tent, as if something is moving right beside it.
Sorry, I thought I heard walking. Back down that way, I heard like...
When he looks outside, he discovers small wooden objects placed near the tent, shaped like strange little eggs.
What is this? Okay, so I just woke up. It's about 3.
The discovery makes him uneasy, and he decides he cannot stay there any longer, pushing this camping encounter into something far more serious. As he begins to leave the area, he hears something else, a person yelling for help somewhere in the forest.
What was that? I can't stay here. There's something out there. We better go. I better go. I can't stay here. That was creepy. Alright, I'm gonna pack my things and we're gonna go. Alright, so we're gonna get out of here. First I might do Can explore the other side. We haven't checked it out yet, so...
Concerned, he follows the sound toward nearby cliffs. Along the way, he finds a hat lying on the ground, making him believe someone might actually be in danger.
Oh my goodness. I don't know what's going on. I could hear somebody screaming help. Sounded like some guy. Okay, let's go. Let's go check it out. Oh man.
Then, the situation becomes even more unusual when he finds a pair of handcuffs lying on the ground.
Yo, it's a hat. Oh man. Oh man. Dude, I'm gonna help you. Just hold on. I just found his hat.
Deepening the mystery of this camping encounter. As he moves closer to the cliffs, he suddenly sees or hears something that frightens him badly. Whatever it is, causes him to panic and run away from the area immediately.
Oh, freak! Oh, freak! Holy freak! Holy freak! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Oh, freak! What the? Oh man! What the hell was that? What the hell was that? Oh, freak sakes! Oh man! Oh man! Oh man! Oh, freak sakes! What was that? Oh man! If it comes after me, I don't know if I can run anymore. Too much. Too much. Oh, somebody handcuff him? Looked like he was able to get out though. I feel bad. I can't stay here though. I can't do it. Okay. Let's go, Brad. Let's go back.
Even without a clear explanation, the night leaves him with one unsettling thought. Maybe the old stories about this forest are not just stories after all. Sometimes a camping encounter doesn't give clear answers, but if you heard a voice calling for help in the dark, would you follow it or leave before it's too late? On July 24th, 2012, a strange and deeply unsettling video spread rapidly across YouTube. It was uploaded by a man named Devin, who was near Bridgeport on a fishing and camping trip with a friend. As they made their way back toward their campsite, everything seemed calm. Then, Devin noticed a deer behaving in a way that immediately felt unusual. Without warning, the deer suddenly rushed forward and charged straight at his friend. Completely caught off guard, they stepped back, clearly shaken. The deer appeared to pause briefly, but the situation did not calm down. Instead of moving away, the animal kept following them, lunging several times and refusing to keep its distance. Its behavior looked aggressive, almost erratic. For a deer, that kind of reaction did not seem normal. No clear explanation was ever confirmed. It may have been protecting something nearby. It may have been sick. Or there could have been another reason entirely. Even now, the footage remains unsettling to watch. Sometimes animals react in ways we do not expect, and we may never fully understand why. What do you think was happening in that moment? Hunter harassment is more common than many people realize, and for these hunters, the situation intensified within seconds. The footage was later uploaded to the YouTube channel Flatline Fall on September 10th, 2022. They went out early for a morning of goose hunting, and at first everything went as expected. They had already taken one goose when a man suddenly appeared in the distance, shouting and closely watching what they were doing.
So, little morning update here. 6:50, we got the first flock come in, put him down pretty good. He's a little unhappy apparently, and he already was giving us problems this morning before we even set up in the dark. He owns half-acre land that isn't this. We have permission from the farmer to be here. We're trying to get a hold of NCON here for harassment, so because we're not taking this year. Normally, it happens all the time. Try to stay legal, and then people that think they know what's going on. I had enough of it. River's trying to make some phone calls over there.
And trying to fire ECO officers' numbers so we can get her out here.
But yeah, so stay tuned. Could get spicy.
All right. We got a.
We're not confiscating our birds.
We heard what she said.
What?
What'd she say?
We're not confiscating her birds. That's illegal.
There you
heard
go.
that? He just
Good job, boss.
Don't shut up. Shut up.
Believing they were fully within their rights, they tried to contact a game warden to report the harassment. Instead of backing off, the man became more aggressive. He waved his arms to scare geese away and intentionally tried to disrupt the hunt. Soon, others joined him. The shouting grew louder, the behavior became more hostile, and eventually threats were made, including death threats. Police were called. When officers arrived, the hunters provided their license identification and proof that they had permission to be on the property.
Nothing, just goose hunting.
Who owns the property?
The property?
Anybody I know who owns it.
Yeah.
Anybody here associated with? Okay.
I went and talked to him last night and he said yes.
And
go ahead.
it's your understanding who's the property owner? Yes. Okay. That's what they indicated.
Yep.
He lives down there?
Yeah, he lives right at the end of this road. You take a right on the left.
Yep.
Yep.
Sharon. You were going to have this many people with you, or?
I asked him for goose hunting and he didn't say anything about having a limited number of people.
Obvious. All right. So, I'm not busting balls.
Yeah.
What time was the first shot?
6:50. We have it all on film. I think we had 4 cameras rolling.
He was yelling at us since 5 o'clock this morning when we were setting decoys.
Since 5.
He was yelling
How
at
many
us.
birds have you guys killed?
We
11.
shot 11.
11.
And
How many are you allowed to take?
the limit is 15 per person.
Per person?
Yes.
All right.
For early
I'm not
season.
up on that NCON shit.
Yeah, we've been
called
calling
them
them all morning.
As soon as he started yelling at us
We
this morning,
were-
I notified my one buddy who's an icon officer, and he said, all right, just keep me updated.
And we've been
And then
calling.
he just said, is anything else? Call the regions. We called the region.
Is it just you two, or
There
everybody?
was
everyone.
no, not everybody.
Yeah.
At the end of the season road down here.
I think.
Yeah, right there. Right there.
Yeah.
Yep. Right at the end of it. Kill us. We have it all on
So it's
camera.
harassment. Every time the birds were flying around, he was screaming at the birds. Just hunter's harassment.
He threatened to kill you.
Yeah, I have guys that'll come here, rip every one of your faces off, and kill every last one of you. Yeah, we film everything, so we do everything.
After reviewing the footage, police concluded that the hunters were acting legally and responsibly. The hunt ended shortly after. What remained, however, was more than simple frustration. It was the unsettling realization that harassment can escalate quickly, and once threats are made, there is no way to know how far someone may be willing to take it. The next chilling video comes from Chill Van Life, a UK-based YouTube channel documenting relaxed van life and stealth camping adventures. The creator travels in a cozy red van named Doggo, exploring quiet roadside spots while sharing practical tips for cooking overnight setups and maintaining privacy during stealth camps. It is March 18th, 2023, at a roadside parking spot somewhere in the United Kingdom. The camper arrives at a quiet location late on a Saturday evening and begins checking the area carefully before deciding to stay overnight.
And now it's time to get stealth. Now I don't get light leakage on the blinds, but this blackout curtain, I get light leakage down the sides. I think the biggest problem for a lot of new stealth campers, it's the worry and the anxiety of doing a camp. It's very exciting when you're on the camp, but before the camp there's a lot of anxiety.
With the basic setup underway, the focus shifts to minimizing any visible light leaks from inside the van. The camper carefully adjusts curtains and coverings to keep the interior hidden from outside view. The risk of being noticed while finishing the setup creates a short but tense moment as every movement becomes part of a subtle camping trip, where staying unnoticed is the priority.
Worry about, am I going to find the right location? When I get there, is there going to be somewhere to park? Now the thing is, this affects all of us. You've just got to do it. Plan as best you can.
Later in the evening, despite the van being fully set up, the camper struggles to fall asleep. Lingering nerves from the stealth camping situation and the late hour make it difficult to relax right away. During this moment, the creator shares practical advice for staying warm on cold nights, such as briefly wearing clothes inside the sleeping bag to warm them up before settling in, while the quiet tension of the camping encounter continues in the background.
And it's been lovely stopping here. And I had the anxiety that I always do on a stealth camp beforehand, just worried about what's going to happen.
By morning, the situation feels completely different. The camper reflects on how the night turned out to be quiet and uneventful despite the earlier concerns. Breakfast is prepared inside the van before the blackout blinds are removed, and the camper steps outside for a short walk around the peaceful location. The overnight stay highlights one of the most common challenges of stealth camping: the psychological tension that comes before the night begins, where even a simple camping encounter can feel more intense than it actually is. If you were in a camping encounter like this, would you trust the silence or leave before your instincts take over? The next unsettling video comes from Stealth Camp Sweethearts, a couple-led outdoor adventure channel focused on stealth camping, riverside hikes, and off-grid wilderness experiences. It is filmed March 3rd, 2026 in Alabama, United States, along a riverside trail surrounded by wooded terrain and small camping clearings. Not long after setting up, the calm atmosphere is interrupted when a vehicle suddenly drives near their campsite. The unexpected arrival catches them off guard, and they pause to observe, unsure who might be nearby or why.
Somebody just pulled up. Which is really weird, because he came up with no light or anything, and he came straight to where he saw our lights. Just gonna leave it rolling in case something happens. So Michael's going to check to see if they're still here, and I am staying by the fire. The dog's going crazy, but I don't know if that's his dog or not. But Michael has protection, and I have an axe. I don't know, we'll keep you guys updated.
Later in the night, two figures accompanied by a dog appear quietly from the surrounding trees while shining flashlights into the forest. One of the campers remains near the fire, while the other carefully moves toward the edge of the campsite while holding a form of protection. The strangers stay nearby briefly before eventually moving away through the woods. The couple believes they may have simply been walking or hunting in the area, though the encounter leaves them uneasy, making this a more tense camping encounter.
We heard a big boom and our dog went half crazy.
They're doing something at the Arsenal in Huntsville, and we heard it, I guess, apparently all the way at our house, and it made our dog go nuts.
We thought our kid fell or something, so we jumped up.
And he's looking at us like we're crazy.
So we didn't go buy no good snacks. I mean, there are good snacks, but we just brought them from home.
They're little Debbie's.
And whatever this is.
It's a Nutter Butter.
Nutter Butter. Christmas Nutter Butter.
Now, I don't know when this video will air, but it's January. So we've just had Christmas and it's almost Valentine's. So we're right there with all the snacks like that.
Toward the end of the night, a sudden loud noise echoes through the campsite. The unexpected sound startles their dog and creates a brief moment of panic as the couple quickly scans the surrounding woods to figure out what caused it. Even without a clear explanation, the moment adds to the uncertainty. Despite the tense moments during the night, the couple focuses on maintaining their fire and staying warm in the cold air. They continue talking and joking while remaining alert to their surroundings. Eventually, they manage to rest, and by morning they begin packing down their camp. Before leaving, they make sure the area is clean and undisturbed. Sometimes, a camping encounter like this isn't about what actually happens, but the uncertainty of who might be out there and why. If you were in a situation like this camping encounter, would you stay and wait it out or leave before things become more unpredictable? The footage comes from Take a Peek at this UK-based travel and lifestyle channel documenting van life adventures, historic locations, and unusual destinations. In this episode, the hosts explore one of England's most well-known haunted villages, combining local folklore, history, and nighttime exploration. It is February 18th, 2025, in Pluckley, Kent, England. As they begin their visit, the quiet setting and long history immediately create a subtle camping encounter atmosphere. The hosts start their investigation at the Black Horse Inn, a historic pub long associated with reports of poltergeist activity. Inside the building, they mention stories of objects moving on their own unexplained footsteps and sightings of Victorian-era figures.
She is believed to be a member of the Dering family, buried in the churchyard, often seen weeping by her gravestone, carrying a red rose.
Apparently there's another, the white lady, that she being seen in the church.
I know lots of people don't believe in ghosties and spirits, but I genuinely have seen things that I cannot explain.
Continuing around the pub, they refer to further accounts from locals claiming glasses have shifted positions and items have occasionally disappeared before later reappearing. Although no immediate activity is observed, the pub's reputation for unexplained incidents keeps the tension building.
So we came back from the pub after dinner. We're gonna go and check probably the scariest sounding place in Pluckley, which is called Screaming Woods.
Next, they head to St. Nicholas Church, another location closely connected to Pluckley's ghost stories. Here, they visit the grave linked to the Red Lady and recount sightings of the White Lady reportedly seen wandering inside the church. The mood around the church is described as heavy and melancholic, rather than frightening, with fading daylight giving the location a quiet but unsettling tone.
I can hear the screams. The thing is, we need to try not to get lost.
Walking deeper into the forest, they recount several old legends connected to the area and the unusual stories locals have shared over the years. Despite the unsettling reputation, the woods remain mostly quiet. The darkness and history alone maintain a strong sense of unease, showing how a camping encounter can exist even without visible activity.
I would say that if you put me in Blean Woods or Perry Woods at this time of the night, there's going to be an element of fear to it because it's dark. It sounds really weird, but when I saw what I saw a few years ago, I had a feeling before I saw anything. It sounds weird, but the atmosphere just completely shifted.
The hosts pause to reflect on other reports linked to Screaming Woods, including claims of galloping horses and strange screams heard late at night. Although they do not witness any paranormal activity themselves, the combination of local legends, darkness, and isolation keeps the tension high as they explore the forest. The night ends with the hosts returning to their camper van after exploring several of Pluckley's most well-known haunted sites. While the evening proves less frightening than the village's reputation might suggest, the locations still carry a strong sense of history and atmosphere. If you were in a place like this camping encounter, would you trust the history or assume it's just your mind reacting to the setting? It is February 28, 2024, in eastern Tennessee, United States, within a mountainous area featuring old mining systems, rail tracks, and deteriorating industrial buildings. The explorers arrive at the abandoned mining site as light rain moves through the area, immediately setting the tone for a tense camping encounter in a location filled with decay and hidden risk. The footage is from Safety Third, a US-based urban exploration channel known for exploring abandoned industrial complexes, mining remnants, and neglected structures. As they move across the site, they pass remnants of mining machinery, aged foundations, decorative stone details, and heavily overgrown paths. The group begins exploring lower-level stairways and partially preserved structures spread across the compound. Decaying wood, unstable floors, and vine-covered walkways force them to check each step carefully. The slow movement through the deteriorating structures builds a steady sense of tension, turning this exploration into a dangerous camping encounter where every step matters.
Ooh. I'm not going any further. I mean, it's hollow underneath of this. That's the problem. Yeah. I want some of this stuff. I don't know, it might be like the Holy Grail. I don't know if I can reach it.
Later in the exploration, the team reaches a worn-down bridge constructed from metal framing and wooden planks that stretches across a small creek. As they attempt to cross, the boards bend and shift under their weight. Each step must be placed carefully to maintain balance while avoiding damaged sections of the structure.
Oh! Oh! Lost her?
Lost it. That was close, dude. I felt it going and I stepped off of it just in time. Thankfully, I was close to the ground, so it would have just hurt a lot.
Continuing forward, the explorers move along narrow walkways made of rotting planks. Several moments nearly result in slips or falls as they step across unstable surfaces, reinforcing just how fragile the abandoned location has become. This camping encounter is not driven by something unseen, but by the constant threat of collapse beneath their feet.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna fall and bust my ass. I know what I must do. It will not be an easy task.
Ah! Oh! Yes! Yes!
The final leap. Ah!
To complete their route and avoid especially wet and hazardous ground, the group makes a small parkour-style jump across a gap in the terrain. They land safely on the other side, bringing the exploration to a close while acknowledging how unstable the terrain had been. The abandoned compound reveals many remnants of the region's mining past, including offices, storage areas, stairways, and old rail lines hidden throughout the property. Even without anything pursuing them, unstable ground, hidden drop-offs, and structural decay can turn a normal exploration into something serious. So, if you were in this camping encounter, would you trust your next step or turn back before the ground gives way?
That's it for tonight. Which moment creeped you out the most? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story? Share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.